McDonald's, Afghanistan, Malaysia, Chicago, Burkina Faso. Number 46, the Bullock. Let's do it. All right, we're going to just do it. We're going to jump right into it with Crown of the Day. Goes out to Nima Rama, a second-generation immigrant from Albania and a McDonald's worker who has climbed the ladder at McDonald's from being a crew member all the way up to an executive. You'll love to see it. Rama began working at McDonald's in his hometown of Jefferson, Wisconsin at the age of 14 and now sits as the director of operations of McDonald's in Florence, South Carolina. At only 35 years old, Rama has worked every single position at McDonald's in a total of 8 different states across the country, and he eventually became a general manager where he earned the Ronald Award, which is given to the top 1% of owners and operators across the country who have gone above and beyond in the company. Rama has said that he has, quote-unquote, ketchup in his veins. Heading over to Afghanistan, where an explosion in the city of Herat has killed a well-known Taliban associate, totaling 18 deaths in the blast on Friday. The blast went off during afternoon Friday prayers, where Imam Mujib Rahman Ansari, along with some of his guards, were killed in the blast. Imam isn't the first religious leader killed in the Taliban that has been killed in a suicide bombing. As less than a month ago, another religious leader, Rahimullah Haqqani, died in a suicide attack in Kabul, which was later claimed to have been carried out by ISIS. So we will see who is responsible for this one, but ISIS seems to be a little jealous of that Taliban power over in Afghanistan.
یک سال 2030 دیر میشد دیگه 27 ساله بود سندش نامشان فردین بود قربان بودم قربان داره خدا بخشش بچه خوبی بود خدا کتش خوبی کنه.
Jumping over to the Bahamas, where a tourist traveling on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship that docked in the Bahamas was just killed by a shark yesterday while snorkeling. The 58-year-old woman from Pennsylvania was attacked at a popular snorkeling spot near Green Cay when it occurred. The family said it looked to be a bull shark, where the victim eventually passed away from her injuries, and sadly, you just never know. Chicago, of course, got to give you that Labor Day weekend update, where 55 people have been shot, with 11 being fatal as of the close of the long Labor Day weekend. And as of now, it doesn't seem like there have been arrests made in the shootings or the fatalities. I think the most awful news about this is that Chicago Police Chief Superintendent David Brown has said that shootings were down 23% in comparison to the shootings last Labor Day weekend. Just awful. Everything about this is just awful.
That's right, Tanya and Val. Despite what the superintendent says, still, we had a lot of shootings over the weekend. 55 people were shot, 11 people were killed, and although those numbers may seem high, this morning Superintendent David Brown did say those numbers actually is an improvement over this time last year.
Over the weekend, shootings were down 15%. Compared to last Labor Day weekend, shooting victims were down 23%.
Even with 55 people shot and 11 killed, Superintendent Brown says there are major declines in gun violence.
We continue to see significant declines in gun violence in the city, with over 600 fewer victims of gun violence so far this year. 605 to be exact. We're continuing to see significant decreases in homicides. Homicides are down 15%, and we're seeing significant decreases in shootings. Shootings are down 19%.
The investigation continues into one of the most recent deadly shootings that happened Sunday night near 86th and Kingston. 20-year-old David DeVoe Jr. and 18-year-old Jason Mundo were gunned down while sitting in front of a home. 2 others were also shot. Police say at least 2 shooters armed with a rifle and 2 handguns walked up and opened fire.
And just execute them for no reason. We don't even know what the reason is. If there is a reason to shoot somebody and then to walk away.
Superintendent Brown acknowledged the efforts for more policing on the CTA and the need for more policing in cases of robberies and carjackings.
We're struggling, obviously, with way too many carjackings.
Now to Burkina Faso, where 83-year-old and Catholic nun Sister Suellen Tennyson was working in the country since 2014 when in April of this year, 10 armed men abducted her in the middle of the night on April 4th. There are virtually no details about why the men chose her or the timing of it or how she was able to survive such an ordeal for that long at 83 years of age, as she was just released this past week in the neighboring country of Niger, and the reasons why she was released by her captors and the conditions of it also have not been released. So very few details on this, but she is pretty worn out from the 5-month ordeal. Sister Suellen seems to be doing fine on her way back to the U.S. Sister Suellen, we love you. Over to Malaysia now, where we've got a runner. At the center of one of the largest bribery scandals in U.S. military history, Malaysian defense contractor Leonard Glenn, a.k.a. Fat Leonard, pleaded guilty to his role in a $35 million scheme to bribe top U.S. Navy officials, which included 4 officers being found guilty and 29 others offering guilty pleas. Fat Leonard cut his ankle monitor off at his home in California just prior to being sentenced, and now he is at the top of the menu for a U.S. Marshal Service. He was bribing Navy officials for classified information in order to have his shipping business in Asia obtain military contracts more easily. They believe he may be on his way back to Asia, but we'll see. Now I'm going to be traveling for the next week, so the Bullock will return September 15th of next week, and I will see you then.